Baruch atah Asherah anat malacha ha'alam asher kiddushani b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatif letzitzit. Hi, Mishkabi. I'm okay. Starting my morning ritual with some tones. You ready? Good morning, Kimmy. You make me smile. So we can begin as we always do with the Shema. It goes like this. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. ואהבת את ענת אלוהיך ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויחיה כי ויחיה אלוהיך אל הארץ אשר נשבע לאבותיך לאברהם ליצחק וליעקב לתת לך ערים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בנית ובתים מלאים כל טובה אשר למילאת ובורות הצבים אשר לא עשת כהרים וזיתים אשר לא נטעת והלכת ושבת. הישמר לך פן תשכח את יהוה אשר תשכחך. Tongue twisters. מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. Listen, Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad is one. And you shall love Yahweh Eloheinu with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. And these words that I'm saying to you today, teach them to your children and recite them when you are out on the road and when you are at home and when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed at night. And inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. And bind them as a symbol on your hand. And place them between your eyes. What language is that? It's Hebrew. Hebrew is the language. So, today, I'm not from Israel. I'm American. My grandfather died, and I inherited this shawl. This was his prayer shawl. He was from Hungary. Eastern European Jewry. So we can continue today where we left off with the Descent of Ishtar. I think we're going to conclude this story today, actually. It's a short version of the story. So, if you'll recall, how many of you were here in the past when we've read this? Probably only a handful of you, but some of you. The story goes that Ishtar decides to descend to the realm of the dead. She has to pass through 7 gates, and when she passes through each gate, she has to remove an article of clothing. And when she gets to the throne room of her sister, Ereshkigal says, "You will suffer like I have suffered," because of course she is the Lady of Death. And so Ishtar dies, in a certain sense. And then all of the fertility leaves the land. And nobody is having sex. And so the gods cry out, and the king Ea creates a handsome man to go rescue Ishtar in the realm of the dead. And so he goes to Ereshkigal and he says, "Hey, will you give me that sacred water?" And she's like, "No." And that's where we left off. It has been a long time since I've been on. I've been streaming more regularly recently in the last couple of weeks. But yes, it has been a while. It's true. So, we're going to conclude this story today. It's like this. He had the Anunnaki come out and sit upon the thrones of gold, and showered upon Ishtar the water of life, and took her to her. And then he allowed her to pass through the door of the first gate, and he returned to her the regal garb meant to enwrap her body. And then he allowed her to pass through the door of the second gate, and he returned to her the bangles for her ankles and her wrists. And then he allowed her to pass through the door of the third gate, and he returned to her the birthstone belt to gird her waist. And then he allowed her to pass through the door of the fourth gate, and he returned to her the brooch pin to clasp upon her chest. And then he allowed her to pass through the door of the fifth gate, and he returned to her the bead necklace to hang about her neck. And then he allowed her to pass through the door of the sixth gate, and he returned to her the earrings that would adorn her ears. And then he allowed her to pass through the door of the seventh gate, and he returned to her the splendid crown to adorn her head. Ereshkigal raised her voice, speaking to her officer, Namtar. "Swear that she has paid her ransom, to be swapped for him, for Dumuzi, her first husband, when she was but a maiden. Wash him in unsullied water, anoint him with purified oil, wrap him in a scarlet robe, play upon the lapis lazuli flute. The ritual virgins will raise a cry of mourning for the dead." And Dumuzi's sister ripped off her adornments, her lap strewn with gems, and she heard the mourning wail in the name of her brother, and she tore off all the ornaments that adored her, all the gemstones which decorated the front of the wild cow. Then Beli raised her voice to be heard, speaking a pledge. "Lo, you will not deprive me of my dear brother for all time, for upon that day to come, when Dumuzi once more arises, and the lapis lazuli rod and the carnelian ring arise with him, and those who lament, both men and women, arise with him, upon that day the dead will arise to savor the smoke offering, and then will every land be in jubilation at his awakening. But until that day comes, I will ceaselessly lament for him." And Beli walked the city, weeping for Dumuzi, her brother. Is everything okay? I look different. Well, how do I look different, Rin? Rin Tin Ranja. What's different about me? So that is the Descent of Ishtar, or one version of it. Right, and we have here next an older version, the Descent of Inanna. That's a little bit longer, although it's the same story. Stories of death and rebirth, right? Like this is the original story of Jesus, long before Jesus was ever around or ever was imagined. 2,000 years before Jesus, as long before Jesus as Jesus has been before us. We were telling stories of death and rebirth. And I think that is pretty special. Good morning, Pamela. How are you? So, something's off about me. I usually give you happy vibes, but now I'm not. My energy is too low. I'm not performing properly, and I'm not making you happy. That's difficult. You watched my stream a few months ago. I look different now. Well, my hair might look a little bit different because it's wet. My eye makeup is a little bit different today. People change. I'm older. I look more tired, I'm sure. Because that's what happens when you're unwell for, I don't know, weeks, months. You look tired. But so it goes. My life is not nearly as stressful as the lives of some. And we are all still here together. There was more glow in my personality before? Really? I'm glad the internet feels entitled to share opinions about how I am perceived. I mean, that is what the internet is for. Like, I don't fault you, Blake. Right? Like, if you say I seemed happier and more energetic before, you're probably right. But gosh. Not before, now. We live in a world full of people. So, we will conclude with Arati and then Kaddish. Arati means flame and Kaddish means holy. So this first prayer is in Sanskrit and the next prayer is in Hebrew. What's the story before Jesus? I just read it. I just finished it. I guess you came in a little bit late. It's the nature of this live stream. People come in every 20 seconds and they say, what's happening? This is the story we were reading. The Descent of Ishtar. Right, she goes to the realm of the dead and then is replaced by her lover, Dumuzi. I am here for your entertainment. It's true, Alpaca. It's the only reason I'm here, is to entertain you. You used to be a moderator, but you lost your account. And now you're back with a new account, and you missed us. Well, I'm glad you're back, Dudette. I'm very glad you're back. And Sarah's here. All my friends are here. That makes me really happy. Like, really, really happy. There's all sorts of metrics I could pay attention to. I could pay attention to the number of people in my room, right? And I can't help but pay attention to that. But there's also a number of people whose names I know. And that metric is a lot more important, I think. Is there another story? Oh, this is it's a full book. There are many stories, and I think we will start reading some Canaanite mythology next. Right? We'll read about Baal, stories from ancient Canaan. Yes, there are many, many more stories. I mean, Alpaca, I am here for your entertainment. Like, literally, like, this is a video sharing app, right? Like, it is my job to entertain you, and I take that job seriously. Sometimes I don't know how to do it properly, right? Like, I doubt myself, whether I'm able to do it well, whether I'm able to actually provide a service to you that is valuable. But yes, I am here to entertain you. So, let's conclude with Arati. Arati goes like this. We're all doing the best we can. Woo! Hi. What's up?
It's cold and dark.
It's cold and dark, yeah. Maybe you could turn on the heater.
You're praying
I can pray.
Okay, it's okay.
We got a nice cat and a nice friend. And we're gonna do arati. Jaya Jaya arati Vina Vinayaka. Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha. Jaya Jaya arati Subramanya. Subramanya Kartikeya. Jaya Jaya arati Venugopala. Venugopala, Venuola, Papa Vidura, Navanita Chora, Jaya Jayarati Venkantaramana, Venkantaramana Sankatarana, Sitarama Radhe Shama, Jaya Jayarati Gauri Manohara, Gauri Manohara, Bhavani Sankara, Sambasada Shiva Uma Maheshwara, Jaya Jayarati Raja Rajeshwari, Raja Rajeshwari, Tripura Sindari, Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati, Mahakali Mahashakti, Jaya Jayarati Anjaneya, Anjaneya Hanumanta, Jaya Jayarati Dattatreya, Dattatreya Trimurtiavatara, Jaya Jayarati Adityaya, Adityaya Bhaskaraya, Jaya Jayarati Sanisharaya, Sanisharaya Bhaskaraya, Jaya Jayarati Sankaracharya, Sankaracharya Advaita Gurave, Jaya Jayarati Sadgurunata, Sadgurunata Shivananda, Jaya Jayarati Vishnudevananda, 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 Jaya Jayarati Agastya Munaye, Agastya Munaye Shriyama Priyaye, Jaya Jayarati Mohammed Gurave, Guru Nanak Gurave, Samastya Guru Po Namaha, Jaya Jayarati Venugopala. Natatra Sriyobati Nakandrakaratam Nimavidyobati Kutoya Magni Twameva Batamabandi Sarvam Tasya Basya Samidam Vivanti Om Gange Kayamune Kaivagavari Saraswati Narmade Siddhikaveri Hiya Namastitam Namo Namaha. So I know it can be perplexing, confusing maybe, to hear me saying a language that you're not familiar with, and I appreciate all of my lovely friends in the chat who are answering questions for me. Like, truly, it makes the stream so much easier to manage.
Is Marie here?
Hmm?
Is Marie here?
Marie is not here.
What about your mom?
No, because I stopped, and so they don't check Facebook as much. My mother does still see it. Like, I still do broadcast there for her. But she's not here right now. I guess the reason why I say these particular prayers is, like, I grew up Jewish, but my mother exposed me to a particular branch of Hinduism, Shivananda Guru tradition, because they have branches in America. So I spent a lot of my childhood at that ashram, and so those prayers, they made it into my brain. And also Hebrew prayers made it into my brain. And so I say both of them because, like, that's literally my childhood exposure, right? Like, those are what feel like they're worth repeating to me. Yeah, so I don't know what religion this is. I don't know what religion I am. I wonder it all the time. I wonder it because you all ask me every day.
Even the way you think about Judaism is
not Jewish.
Legibly modern Judaism. I mean, it's not legibly ancient Judaism either.
No.
It's not legibly Jewish.
Yeah. It's tricky.
Characters are the same.
Another. Okay, we can do one more. We can say Kaddish. So, the word Kaddish, it's in my name, right? There was an ancient goddess, Katesh. She was kind of like Ishtar. We were just reading about Ishtar. And down the line, linguistic evolution, we have the word Kaddish or Kadosh, holy in Hebrew. And it's become associated with death, the mourner's Kaddish. So we can say Kaddish for all those people who died yesterday, and all those living things that have died since life began. And this one goes like this. Yid Gadal, Vid Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divrach Yute, Viam Lichmal Chute, Bechayachon, Viamechon, Vchayede Kolbe Israel, Bagala, Visman Kari Vimru, Amin. Yehe Shemei Rabbah, Mivarach Lialam, Olmei, Olmaya, Yid Brach, Vishtabach, Vid Baar, Vid Ramam, Vid Nase, Vid Hadar, Vid Taleh, Vid Halal, Shemei, De Kudisha, Berechu, Leila Min Kol Birchata, Vichirata, Tush Birchata, Venechemata, Diamiran, Bialma, Vimru, Amin. Yehe Shlama Rabba Amin, Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu V'yachol Yisrael Vimru, Amin. O say Shalom Vimrumav, Huya A say Shalom, Aleinu V'yachol Yisrael Vimru, Amin. O say Shalom Vimrumav, Huya say Shalom Aleinu V'yachol Yisrael Vimru, Vimru, Amen. Thank you all so much for being here. All of you. Like, to have people on the other side of the screen who know me, it's quite a gift.
I know you.
Yeah, you do. You're right here. Would you like to eat some quinoa with me?
Yeah.
Could you get it?
What does your room smell like right now? It smells like quinoa.
It smells like quinoa. Quinoa is like greener smelling, earthier smelling than most greens. Thank you.
Do you want other things?
I would like some soy sauce and some oil. 1 second, I'll grab it from you. Just have to fold this up.
It's okay, I'm strong enough to hold it strong enough for a while.
Good morning, Erica. How are you today? How are your chickens?
Fine.
Are they cold?
No. They're okay.
They're okay.
I ended up raising. I thought about leaving that other brooder down today. I raised it up. They seemed fine. They were active.
The little hanging felt thing.
Yeah. Only it's got the Mylar bubble wrap on it now.
Uh-huh.
Permanent like the blankets.
They're more likely to get moldy, huh?
Yeah, and they collect chicken shit and dust. And all that.
You're eating breakfast and you're watching me eat breakfast. Well, isn't that the thing? When do the goats come out?
When did the goats come out?
I mean, they're out.
For a walk yesterday.
Yeah. When do the goats come on morning live stream? Probably never. Because where they live, there's no internet. But I'll make another goat video soon, one day. What is a commune? A commune is a particular kind of social institution in America responding to the particular woes of American social life where we share all our money together. When I walk them, yeah, I haven't made a goat walk video in quite some time. But I'm gonna have students here in July. And when I have students here in July, we will go walking with the goats every day. And it'll be very cute. And we'll make films about them. You're playing a silly game.
Mm-hmm. It's cold.
Yeah, you're a little low, huh?
Yeah. It's not surprising. I've been very active the last couple days.
Mm-hmm.
It's not surprising that when we have some less nice weather, my body should respond by telling me that it's okay to not be quite as active.
Yeah, you were sleepy this morning.
It is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
A kibbutz is basically a commune as well, yes. There are some critical differences between kibbutzim and communes. The largest is just like ethnic culture. Like the kibbutz is is a specifically Israeli invention. And the other like major difference is political. That the kibbutz were an explicitly Zionist project, right? Like they were supported by the Israeli government in the 50s and 60s when there was significantly less infrastructure in the nation of Israel than there is today. And the kibbutzim were an expedient way to provide housing to people, refugees, many of them. So the intentional communities movement in the United States doesn't have as much explicit government support. And also the colonization effort happened, 200-300 years ago, as opposed to like actively ongoing. That changes the tenor of the communities a little bit. Like most people in American intentional communities don't want to see themselves as colonizers, whereas many people in the kibbutz are like quite pleased about that part of their history. I don't know. Maybe that is unfair of me to say, but
there were communes back when we were actively colonizing. So.
Yeah.
Though I don't know if they were really a feature of the frontier ever. There were, like, communes are a historical American tradition. Like, they go back to the 18 and even to the 1700s, and they're always more popular in America than they were in continental Europe.
Yeah.
Like Oneida was a commune, and obviously the Shakers were a large American communalist movement for a long time. And, there's other weird ones like Fruitland.
Fruitland, I've not heard of that one.
Didn't last very long. It was, it was like either in the 1850s or the 1870s, and it was experiment in integration. Racial integration.
Oh, interesting.
But it didn't, they were also...
Racial integration's hard.
Yeah, also, it had it's just like today, it had a charismatic leader, and they had all these ideas, but actually not, enough follow-through. And some of their ideas, because in the 1800s, some of their ideas, I think they're called Fruitland, because they were we're just going to eat fruit.
Oh.
It's, not a very sustainable idea if what you want to do is, farm. You need to eat something more than fruit, it turns out.
Yes, Sarah, that is my partner.
One of them.
One of them. It's quinoa and cashews. Intentional community trying to live off the land. That is a very common aspect of it.
It's not the totality of it.
No. Yeah, there's someone who lives here who really wants to live in an urban commune.
Yeah. Urban communes are hard, because some people, you're all going to be making money off the farm, and some people make more money than others in a city. Income
inequality is larger in cities than in the countryside.
Yeah, we had a friend who was visiting who was asking me about income inequality. Basically the same questions, income inequality and resentment here. And I was like, well...
We don't have that much because we don't actually have that much income inequality.
It's not that diverse, and also, the social structure is very strong. But, it's more than some of the other places that we know.
Yeah. We do run into seniority issues. And it's funny because we've also all been living here for basically the same amount of time. Yeah. But even then, there are still seniority issues.
Are you streaming?
I'm streaming. And we're talking about communes.
Yeah. Oh, what do people want to know?
Sarah thinks that there are probably seniority issues, and we were talking about that. And someone asked about the difference between a kibbutz and a commune.
Depends on the structure of the kibbutz. Most kibbutzim would have qualified as communes.
Yeah.
And some still do, but many have privatized.
That's true. Are you taking a COVID test?
Yeah, just to rule out possibilities.
Because you feel bad.
My brother's family got COVID when they didn't come to Easter.
Oh?
Yeah, the whole family, they all have it.
They didn't come to Easter and they got COVID.
Yeah, because they went to Boston and ran the marathon instead, and they went on there was a bus involved at one point. and they got a notification that somebody on the bus had COVID.
Oh, gosh.
Oh. Damn.
Hi, Mega. It's really nice to see you, too.
I also have a Lyme test on Thursday.
Oh, gosh.
We don't think it's likely.
Yeah.
No, but I've had like weird mental fog and confusion that is consistent. Like I forgot how many steps there were going down the stairs, and I tried to step on another step.
Mm.
I forgot who the sixth worker owner was, and it's Cicada.
Mm.
Like basic shit.
Hi, baby love.
Just be like tired and like stressed and over. Like it could just be like early season.
It's not how it normally manifests.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels abnormal.
And I do remember...
I might also have a sunburn, but like my face feels flushed.
But it is consistent with Lyme disease, like strange kinds of confusion.
Yeah. And
those spirochetes in your brain.
it would be
Yes.
behoove us to know that
Yeah.
as soon as possible if it
Yes. Katie, your entire family had COVID in January? Gosh.
That sucks, but also, I mean, that sucks. That just sucks. But like maybe in a way, like,
Did your kids get it really bad?
oh, I kind of know who Katie is, don't I?
Yeah, you spoke with her.
She's on your server. Yeah.
Yeah, I have internet friends.
I know you do. That's what you're doing. She has little kids or
Yeah,
older kids?
little kids.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there's somebody else who has like a tween kiddo who
Mhm.
is non-binary.
Maybe.
Is dating someone who is non-binary.
There was a
and
dialogue.
They wanted to know how to be good to.
Yeah, I remember
their-
that conversation.
To their partner, and
Hmm
it was really good.
They all had fevers of 104.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
That's terrible. It's
Yeah.
really hard to take care of yourself, let alone.
And
other
you
people.
were sick too, and you had to take care of
Ooh,
3 kids with intense fevers.
That sounds
Yeah, it sounds really hard.
Yeah, I haven't had it yet, as far as I know.
Yeah, we haven't had it here.
Most of our household is
One person got it twice, but they were not in
Yeah.
the household either.
Yeah.
Right? Can I put back a used tube?
I ate all the quinoa.
Then we could share and you lied.
Oh.
I didn't ask you for any. I don't actually particularly like quinoa.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Like,
Oh, okay.
don't like quinoa.
Sorry.
Rachel, can we put King's Trefarius in when we put more mushrooms in? Can we
You
put,
saw your first mushroom yesterday in your front yard.
Try.
It's springtime, Sarah. Yeah, we're gonna put King Stropharia everywhere.
well, we were talking about putting lots of wood chips down.
Mm-hmm.
I like them.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're really good, and they seemed extremely easeful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to do the wood chips, but we have to do the wood chips anyways. And if we're doing the wood chips anyways, and they just happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the shiitakes where we have to, like, walk up the hill. And
Yeah, they
do
happened in places we
things.
didn't plant them. There was a King Stropharia by the rye. It was
Right.
very strange.
Okay. Open the package, take out the test bars, take out the tube.
All right, my friends. I'm gonna start filming. Oh my gosh, baby love, that's scary.
What?
People dying of COVID.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
do that.
I have to go. I'm gonna film today. But I will be back here tomorrow, and we can hang out some more. It's really lovely to spend the morning with you all. Farewell. I hope you have a really nice day.